Hello you, it's my yard here. Welcome to the channel. This is all about the HUD, the heads-up display for WWE 2K22, because despite only seeing roughly what could be considered about 4.5 seconds of footage of that little HUD display, there is a lot of telltale signs that this is completely different to WWE 2K20 and before. Simply put, there is one major change that my assumption is dictating is there but wasn't there in the previous incarnations. In fact, there's two things. One of them is the paybacks, and two of them is beautiful reversal, because there's no reversal counters in this game from what we can see. That's the big assumption. Some people, even Vibe, said on 2K's own WWE Games channel that they reckon that this is a counterbar that disappears after 3 finishes, after the signature hits. I completely disagree, and the reason for it is because of this. I'm showing you two little screen grabs. The top part is of Big E and Montel's fall, and so is the very bottom. The in between is this gameplay screenshot from Bobby Lashley and Chad Gable doing the Dominator. You can see with the Big E and Montel's forward stuff that they're on full health, okay? Yet there is no bars active. There is no bottom bar. There is no on those 3 bars, which, by the way, if it was counters, we would used to see up to 5 counters. This explains that there's only 3. So that's my first telltale sign that if there is a counter system in play, they've completely rechanged it and it's no longer 5 counters max, which I don't think would be the case. On top of that, it's the very beginning of a match. Look at the top left corner of your screen, you see the 5 stars of doom, as I like to call them. They are the match rating. They have not had any effect whatsoever, and that looks to be the same as 2K2019's match rating system. So therefore, nothing has happened in the match yet. This dodged animation that would happen is the first sort of move of the match. Now, I can't see 2K being, in their infinite wisdom, allow 2 wrestlers or 2 playable characters to have no counters at the very beginning of a match. That would make no sense whatsoever, because that would easily mean as soon as someone hit the first move, they'd be screwed because they would get dominated straight away. This implies that I would say that there is unlimited counters in the game, and that these 3 bars are completely different. These 3 little white bars, you can see on Chad Gable's side. You don't see on Bobby Lashley's because I've done the move, I've taken the picture after the move is in motion. At the very beginning of that animation, he had, Bobby Lashley, the 3 bars as well. They disappeared when this move hit, which Dominator is normally a signature maneuver, which would make sense. Do these 3 bars represent momentum slots, kind of like All Stars, where you needed to fill them up to perform a signature, and the bottom bar is the finisher bar? That could be the case. It could be signatures and finishers. That would be a cool thing. Maybe the white bars are sort of like spirit balls that Day Reckoning and Wrestle Kingdom had, where you had a finite amount of counters that you could build up that could be used for different effects, like getting up quicker. So like the payback system, so you could keep up, or maybe do a possum pin or a low blow, that sort of nature. Maybe that is what it's there for. Or for the trailer purposes, they didn't want to show the payback HUD menu where you took enough damage you'd be able to fill the payback bar. It could have been on the person. That could be a case as well. But I don't think it has any relation to do with the counters. It very much does for Bobby Lashley and Chad Gable, saying that the bottom bar reacts to damage being performed. We see it on the gut kick, and we see it on the Dominator itself here. The gameplay for the Dominator also shows body damage being interactive. On the gut kick, you saw the body just interact there, and then when the Dominator fully hits, again, Chad Gable's body damage is effective, as is his health bar. We don't see any effects to the white bars, and we don't see any effects to his momentum bar. But like I say, Bobby Lashley's momentum bar does go up as soon as the maneuver hits, albeit we don't get to see very much of it, but you can clearly see the bar go up. So my hunch, middle bar is signature, payback, comeback maybe. Bottom bar is pure momentum bar, which relates to just the finishers. It could, of course, relate to both signature and finishers as well, at like the old school games where you had to build up to get to a signature and then hit the signature before you'd be able to hit the finish. That is also a possibility. We don't know. We've only seen 4 seconds of gameplay footage right now, so I mean, it's nothing to confirm or deny our suspicions on it. We are purely speculating. It would also factor in with my previous video when it comes to the controller layouts, where there is combos and the face button is now used for the grapple button rather than the analog stick. If they're going that arcadey style, you wouldn't want to have limited counters. You want to have it as pick up as play as possible, where every opportunity has the chance to be a counter. and the advanced strategies which they relayed in their media alert to say that they were allowing for high skill expression by having a dodge counter, a block reversal, and a normal reversal, implies that they are trying to focus maybe more on the All-Stars and Street Fighter style of arcadey route, rather than the simulation style that the 2K games has had in the previous years, which I'm all for an arcadey game, providing we get the playability and physics engine and hit detection up to scratch, because if the hit detection isn't there, we have a problem, especially with an arcadey game. If the hit detection doesn't work, you can't play it. It's not playable. It's why people were put off from 2K Battlegrounds. Despite being great pick up and play for 10-20 minutes with your mates, it doesn't have longevity because the hit detection was atrocious. The grappling system was atrocious. That's what 2K has to factor in with 2K22, and hopefully with the 2-year lead time, we will get that into fruition, because if we don't, people are going to turn away. There is alternatives now that are coming out that people will play instead. So 2K have to get their shtick together. They have to be on the ball. Now, don't get me wrong, there's other things we need to talk about. We have to talk about my GM and my faction and my rise, which it really should be called my career or my story. Universe mode, creation suite. There's other things, even that small bit of footage, that we can talk about in separate videos, which we will. But when it comes to this HUD, I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a tactical person, so having limited counters now become unlimited counters, I think from a gameplay perspective will change your mantra, will change the psychology of how matches are played. I think having unlimited counters will mean certain grappling positions will not get used and certain moves will not get used if it is unlimited counters, especially moves that have mid-move reversals. This was the case in TNA Impact, which was the precursor to WWE All-Stars for those that don't know, where online people would just do the DDT. The DDT had no mid-move reversal, so that was the move that just kept doing and doing and doing again, and it couldn't get reversed. If you have that same scheme there, where the grappling system is preferring people to use moves that can't be countered mid-move, then people are just going to choose that for the creative superstars, and it's going to plague the online in a major way. So there's always been pros and cons to have limited versus unlimited counters. You need every move to have a mid-move reversal for that to come into effect. So we'll see what happens. Do you think the HUD system is what I think it is? Do you think it's something completely different? Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more WWE gaming goodness. Oh yes, we're going to be focusing on 2K22 next year. I was going to say this year. It's the Christmas spirit, isn't it? Yeah. Oh well. Much time. Not long to wait, is there? I'll see you later. Take it easy. Bye bye now.